Keeping the hopes alive for first place in the Pacific Division, the Oilers pull out a big victory over the Anaheim Ducks in regulation, and we're here to break it all down right here on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream postgame show. Tom Gazzola with you inside the EST Satellite Studios in beautiful downtown Edmonton, just outside of Ice District, alongside Shawn, Belle, and Benny Thomson. We're going to hear from Reid Wilkins as well in the program. An afternoon game. I know there's a lot of reservation about afternoon games when it comes to the Oilers, but they kind of put that whole thing aside and take care of business against the Ducks. All right, we want to hear from you. 780-218-9999. Hop into the nasty chat after that 4-2 Oilers victory. And, of course, our presenting sponsor, big thank you to them, GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to ejectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Hit up the nasty chat and get into the conversation via the inbox, 780-218-9999. Your thoughts on the Oilers win, how they played this afternoon, maybe another shot of confidence and really starting to build up that goodwill among the fan base at the right time of the season. Right, boys? Bellsy, what say you?
I thought it was a really good game. They were pressuring in the right areas. They had really good sticks in the defensive zone. I thought they did a fantastic job taking away that time and space, creating battles, just mucking it up in the defensive zone, and disrupting the timing of the Anaheim players and forcing them to kind of like make plays that they weren't comfortable with. And that was one thing that I pointed out in the press box multiple times. I'm like, just their stick positioning alone was disrupting kind of the timing from the Ducks, which was great to see. On the offensive end, they were opportunistic. You know, they had a decent cycle game going. They did some really good things, scoring off the rush. It was a good, neat, tidy game. So it was positive steps. Got a bit of a winning streak going here. Let's see what happens.
A winning streak, the second one of the season. Crazy. It's game 74, Benny, and we're talking about their second 3-game winning streak of the year. Better late than never.
Sure. I mean, I was talking about it on the post-game show where if they were to pile together, let's say it goes to 6, a 6-game win streak or even just a longer win streak near the end of the season, I mean, that's way more important than doing it any other time this season. Peaking at the right time is a big thing for playoff hockey. And so if you're feeling your best going into the playoffs, I mean, you're not going to be the same team you were in December. So, I mean, to me, this game was such a good representation of the difference of what the Oilers are playing like right now versus the last time these two teams played. When the last time these two teams played, the Oilers were completely flawed in their own end. And so they had to play into the Anaheim Ducks style, and that was run and gun and kind of hope for the best. Today, the Ducks tried playing that style, but the Oilers were a lot more stingy on the back end. And I leave that to, I leave that to a couple different things. Obviously, Dickinson, Murphy have helped out a lot. Dickinson misses his guy on the go-to goal, which sucks. But like you said, broken stick there. Broken stick from Ekholm and doesn't read that in time. So it was a tough call. So those additions obviously help out defensively. But to me, like two of the biggest things that have helped this Oilers team, we talked a little bit on the pregame show. Darnell Nurse and Jake Wallman have significantly changed their games, specifically in the D zone. They have been a whole lot more reliable in their own end versus, majority of the season where it was rough. It was rough watching those guys try to break out a puck or stop a cycle. Now that they're placed in their proper spots, it feels like they are more than capable of playing in their own end and getting pucks out and all that stuff. They've been using their feet more. Now, I don't know if that's a Paul Coffey influence or just flat out they're playing better. Whatever it is, Jake Wallman and Darnell Nurse have been so much better as of late, which has led to the Oilers being able to play a stingy defensive game, which it wasn't perfect tonight, but better than anything we've seen before this past week. So A good win against the Anaheim Ducks that were ahead of you. Now it's a race for the Pacific Division. So good on you guys. It's 3 games in a row now. Second time you've done it. Let's see if you can extend on it. What was that next game? Tuesday? Monday?
Tuesday. Yeah, I believe Tuesday. I'll double check that, but that's an encouraging victory. That's the way I want to describe that win. I thought it was very encouraging how they took care of business against the Anaheim Ducks tonight. An important game, and they rose to the occasion. Yeah, it is Tuesday against the Seattle Kraken, so they'll have a day of rest tomorrow and then get back to work on Monday. So what say you? 780-218-9999. You want to peak at the right time of year, and I think the Oilers have done a nice job of getting into the right type of mindset. I feel like they're on the path to doing that going into round 1 of the playoffs. And listen, if you're worried, I think today nullifies a lot of concern. And is this team going to make the postseason? They're going to make the playoffs, you guys. Yes. And I think that's a huge step in the right direction. The way they did it didn't leak into overtime. They didn't give up a point. That's huge. And they're 3 points back of the Anaheim Ducks, and they took care of business in a 4-point game. Very important. And the Oilers snapped the Ducks 4-game winning streak in the process.
Yeah. They've been red hot, dude. Yeah. Red hot. I didn't know they were that good until they showed on the broadcast. They're the second hottest team since mid-January.
Yep.
That's a good team you just beat there.
Yep, absolutely. All right, let's hear from you. 780-218-9999. Hop into the Nasty Chat. Nasty Chat's going all right on this Saturday afternoon where the Oilers win 4-2 over their Pacific Division rivals from Orange County. Let's go to Attaboy Stan. Attaboy Stan Texan says, Ingram was good. However, I was not happy with both goals as he chased shots wide right of the net, and it opened him up. Ingram's performance. Now, it's interesting. Just going into Attaboy Stan's text there, we had some people bring it up last game that Ingram, I think, ended up with an 893 save percentage last game.
Yeah.
And it was 26 saves on 29 shots. And it was just like a sticking point. I don't think anybody was too bent out of shape, but I made the point of saying it's interesting for some, just like the idea, I don't know if mental image or just peace of mind when you see a 900 save percentage at the end of a game. I personally don't care at the end of the game as much compared to, in a body of work. If the save percentage is around or above 900 and the goals against is below 3, to me overall is more important than game to game. But for some, that's how they analyze games, and that's fine. But that was a sticking point the other night, and I was going through the game stats from this one, and Ingram, guess what? He finished with a good save percentage. He had a 935, and for others, like Attaboy Stan says, didn't like those goals. Bellsy, what'd you see on those 2 goals that he allowed?
Well, I didn't see the second one because we were walking back, but the first one, that's an unbelievable tip. You can say he chased it all you want, but that shot was almost 2 feet wide.
Yep.
And so he's got to be square to the puck. And as he's squaring up to the puck and he's pushing from side to side, he gets a tip on it and it goes 5-hole. That's an unbelievable tip. You can't really argue too much with it. You can talk about the body position. You can talk about, where Darnell Nurse was in conjunction to when that play happened, giving up maybe a little bit more of the offensive positioning side than anything. But at the end of the day, Seneke got his stick around Nurse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he tipped a puck that was going wide for sure. I don't know if you can, I don't know if you can really argue with that tip. It was unbelievable. And like I said, the second goal, I didn't see it because we were walking back, so I can't really speak to it. But that first one, I'm sorry, that you got to tip your cap sometimes to opposing teams, opposing players, and the way that they play, because that was an elite level tip.
So that second goal was a shot from John Carlson from the point. Ekholm breaks his stick. chases the guy behind the net. Dickinson doesn't read that Ekholm is missing a stick. And so he's late to a behind the back pass to Cutter Gauthier. I see what the texter means by like Ingram followed the shot and didn't react quick enough to go, oh, this is going to turn into a scoring chance right away. Yeah. So I understand that. Honestly, like I'm willing to give him a pass on them because I thought he played great today. I thought he made some big saves in some key moments. He didn't see too many great A's, I would say. I mean, when the Oilers go up 3-0, they had their big push, and I think that's when the ice was tilted and you can see the chances were starting to pour in for the Ducks. But I just think Connor Ingram was solid again. Like, to me, it's funny, like you brought up, Tom. Last game he gets an 893 or whatever, and like kind of it looks bad in a way, and then he gets a 935.
On paper, I guess it looks bad.
On paper, but to me, they were the exact same performances to me.
Yeah.
Like, they were just solid goaltending, which I think for a lot of Oilers fans, that's just what they've been asking for a couple of years now. Just solid, consistent goaltending, and Connor Ingram was given that for the majority of the season.
Yeah.
Let's go to Library Pat texting in 780-218-9999. Library Pat says, no Leon, no problem. The goals are coming from a variety of places. I'm very much encouraged by the past few games. Got to keep it going. Nice to see Lazar back today. What did you guys notice from Lazar? To me, energy, a little bit of piss and vinegar, and I thought he slid right back in after missing a chunk of time. Belsey, did you notice Curtis Lazar out there tonight?
Yeah, I noticed, he was a hardworking player. He's right in the mix. He gives them good, reliable minutes on that fourth line. It's what you ask for. And a guy that's going to get limited minutes, it's all about trying to find a way to make an impact on the ice. And we've talked about it on this show multiple times. Yeah, sometimes you're not going to be counted on to score. But if you can do the right things in your 6 to 10 minutes that you're on the ice and you're not getting scored on, but you're managing to impact the game, that's a big deal for these Edmonton Oilers, and that's what he does every single time he's on the ice. Whether he's going to the net, whether he's hitting, whether he's mixing it up in a scrum, like he just does really good things for the Oilers.
I mean, he plays 9-10 today, so you noticed him, right? The 9-10. Not to get negative, because I think there's plenty of reason to be positive after tonight, but to me, he is the absolute replacement for Adam Henrique. I think Adam Henrique has lost his step here a little bit. There was a play, I think it was in the second period or something, where like if a guy with just advocate foot speed gets there and he's probably on a break and it's Adam Henrique and it just kind of dies off and that's it. Like to me, game one of playoffs, everyone's healthy. There's not a doubt in my mind Curtis Lazar is playing over Adam Henrique, which sucks because I think Henrique, when at his best, is a valuable piece. But even then, though, they gave him close to 15 minutes tonight, which is ridiculous. But yeah, I noticed Lazar again. Like, he's just an energy guy. Had a good drive in that first period. Had an open look there. Drove it to the net. But I think, to me personally, he should be the fourth line center come playoff time. I don't know if Knoblauch sees it that way, but I guess we'll find out.
Zulu says he's decent, taking draws. Yeah, we've heard that. And he is. He's a veteran presence. I like him, but I'm with a lot of people. The boots aren't there.
The boots aren't there, but like
the mind
is Lazar honestly going to take his spot, you think?
I don't think he will over Knoblauch. Like, through Knoblauch's eyes, I don't think he will. If I'm coaching, I'm starting Lazar over Henrique.
I would, but I'm completely biased too.
That's fair.
I admit that wholeheartedly.
I appreciate the honesty.
Thank you. Baggio, surprisingly not as positive as I expected, says, Tommy, boys, I don't think they will win the division, but that isn't the goal. Get rolling in the right time. Like Benny said, don't let the bottom guys catch up and get ready for the playoffs. I think they could still win the division. This was a huge step in the right direction, a regulation win against a team in Anaheim that was streaking. So pretty good to see, and we'll see what the Oilers can do. Maybe it's too little too late, but Baggio, I'm going to go with a more positive approach to what happened tonight, or today, I should say, and the possibility of winning the division for the first time since 1987. Let's go to Chet Palmer's brother-in-law.
What?
Yes. Great handle. Chet Palmer's brother-in-law says, playoffs hit. I want Jones, Szymanski, Frederick, fourth line when the playoffs start. So Henrique, Lazar would be extras if Leon is in the lineup. So I thought Max Jones actually made a pretty good play on that goal by McDavid. The nice drop pass to Bouchard. Bouchard takes the shot. You get the carom off the back wall, and then both Jones and McDavid go. And do you like how McDavid just kind of took it off of Jones' stick? And he just like flicked it in on the backhand.
It's funny because it's like they showed in the broadcast, Jones is kind of like a decoy on the play, but it's a good point though, because like Doshal doesn't know which one's going to shoot it because they're both in prime position to do it. He's kind of just waiting on is he going to shoot? Which one's going to do it? And so McDavid just took it right away and scored. I mean, if I'm going to trust Connor McDavid or Max Jones to score on a backhand in front of the net, probably going to go Connor McDavid. So I'm happy that he was the one that shot it. But Jones had a role play to play on that goal, and he gets an assist. So good for him.
Yep.
Yeah. McDavid, the non-natural goal scorer with his 42nd of the season. Also, Roslovic put in his 20th. Good to see there. Savoy, 14th. And then you saw Zach Hyman bury his 31st into the empty net. The replies from Anaheim were Beckett Seneke. You heard Belzy talking about that goal, or Seneca, pardon me. And then Cutter Gauthier, who's having a stellar season, 37 on the year for Gauthier, who was acquired from the Philadelphia Flyers and has been excellent as an Anaheim Duck. All right, more of your text, 780-218-9999. Let's go to EMG. Now we just need to see the Oilers get the power play back on track. And there was some talk in the press box tonight, Belzy, in the first intermission. It was, yes, the power play isn't clicking. It isn't getting the goals like it was when Leon Draisaitl was healthy and playing. But it is creating positive momentum, and it is getting some looks. What are you seeing from the power play outside of them not lighting the red light?
Well, they're starting to find ways to get other guys and scheme other guys open. We talked about it on the pregame show, where it's like, okay, we got to find a different way to be effective on the power play. It can't be just a normal seam pass to Draisaitl because you don't have that option anymore. And so, to me, it's like they've adjusted and they're trying different things, and it's going to eventually it's actually going to benefit them as soon as Draisaitl gets back, because now the different options that you're able to unroll. Okay, well, maybe you're going to go backdoor to Hyman. Maybe you're going to hit a bumper. Maybe you're going to switch Hyman and Nugent Hopkins, like you saw today, where Nuge became the low guy and Hyman became the bumper. Like, you had different options, and you could see it was kind of confusing the Ducks just a little bit. Yes, they didn't capitalize, but they had some good looks. They had some good chances. And so when you insert a guy like that back into the lineup, Draisaitl, we're talking about here, now all of a sudden it can't be just, I'm going to overplay Draisaitl and we're just going to force feed him. There's multiple different things that you have to try to do, and it's going to make your power play more dangerous. But the other thing that I really like that we haven't really talked about is the 5-on-5 scoring. Mm-hmm. That's a big deal, because this has been a team historically that doesn't necessarily love to score 5-on-5. Yeah. We talked about it earlier, right? Before the trade deadline, we're like, I think it was you, Benny, that mentioned, well, they need some guys that can score 5-on-5.
Yeah.
Because that's been lacking. But now they're scoring 5-on-5. Their power play hasn't been as great. You add Draisaitl back into it, your power play is going to get way better. But then the other piece of that is you have 5-on-5 scoring, and that's what you need to win in the playoffs.
I think we're starting to see the benefits. Obviously, it sucks watching Draisaitl go out, especially for regular season and at an important time where they weren't guaranteed a playoff spot. But I think we're starting to see the benefits of being forced to use other guys and win in different ways. I think you're starting to see the benefit of it. And like you mentioned, the 5-on-5 play, the bigger roles that are given to some guys. I mean, the guys like forward ice time leaders tonight. It's a tie between Connor McDavid and Matt Savoy.
Nice.
Like that is like, that's ridiculous. I don't think you would ever predict that at the start of the season that was going to be the case at some point this year. But there's the elevator roles for some guys has helped a lot. It's good mojo heading into a playoff run where it wasn't looking pretty, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, but it's starting to look better as the day goes by.
I like that you brought up Matt Savoy. He scores another goal tonight, going to the net. Great play by top 9 Podkolzin, obviously, and had to get it in there.
I know you did.
I know. That was a great pass by Podkolzin, by the way. He's having an excellent season. Good to see him having growth and progression, regardless of how Rip City Step and Big Uke like to come after me for not giving him his flowers as a top 6. But he's having an excellent year. Made an awesome play, that little stutter and delay.
Yeah.
Like the little fake shot, and then he outwaits the defenseman, and then great pass over to Savoy. There's 0% chance he was missing that. But good job on Savoy's part to get up there. Also, I noticed, I think it was Rip City Step that was saying, do you think Savoy is going to thank Benny Thomson when he accepts the Selke trophy in the future?
Taught him everything he knows, boys.
Yeah, you did.
Every single thing that he knows.
The biggest reliability zone end growing up somehow taught Savoy how to play good defense.
That guy
at 8 years old.
Yeah.
Don't talk about yourself like that.
No, trust me. My dad and I were talking about it last night. My hockey growing up. He's like, man, you were boom or bust. You either contributed or you costed us. There was no in between. Yeah, I don't know. That was just me, I guess.
Nate, that's very, very harsh, but the truth hurts, and sometimes that's the best way to learn.
I knew it. I was not a defensive player at all. But I'm happy that a former teammate of mine, 8-year-old teammate of mine, is now turned into a defensive beast and offensive as well. I mean, he's scoring goals too.
That's okay. Neither is Belsey anymore, and he played defense in the National Hockey League. So
I'm still a defensive beast. Don't worry about me.
Yeah, when you get past the center ice and you actually come back into your own zone.
I'm an offensive juggernaut. Don't slow me down.
Okay.
So if I go into my zone, it takes away from my offense.
Right. Now you want to talk about an actual offensive juggernaut right now. That would be Matt Savoy. Belsey, what are you noticing about him? Like maybe some little things in his game that's leading to this offensive success.
He's relentless on the puck. He goes to the right areas. He's not worried about getting to the hard areas. And that's something that he does actually extremely well, is get to the hard areas. I know that he's a smaller player in stature, but he doesn't play that way. Like, he's always in battles. He's always doing something to try to get the puck back. And it's something, and I always go back to this conversation because we had it on Hello Hockey. We had Keith Gretzky on, and he talked about some of the things that Savoy was learning in the minors. And he mentioned very specifically, he's like, his defensive game has come a long way. Mm-hmm. And so when you see him now, he started off, he was starting to gain a little trust because his defensive game was good. He's on the kill. He's got a good stick. He's smart. And now you're starting to see the offense come, and it's something that he's always had. And so it's all being put in, kind of rounded into form, and it's coming up and it's showing up all the time. And it's awesome to watch, because the trade is always going to be, there's always going to be discussion, who won the trade. Mm-hmm. Well, it looks like both teams won. Mm-hmm. But the Oilers got a really smart hockey player, really fast one, tenacious on the puck, and he's a very good complementary player for Connor, for Leon. And I don't want to just leave him at a complimentary player. Like, I just think he's got a great motor that he can do some stuff for himself as well. So yeah, just a fantastic hockey player, and thank God that Benny Thomson taught him everything that he knows.
Yeah, and without Benny Thomson, Savoy wouldn't have potted his 14th of the season on a great feed from Vasily Podkolzin and McDavid, the secondary helper, on that one. And you know what? We were talking about this in the press box during the game today. I was like, I thought that the over-under at 7.5 was for sure an crazy afternoon game. I mean, we got to 6, but it took a little while to get there. So close, but no cigar on the over-under. Play Alberta had it at 7.5. I was very surprised. I think that was the first time this year that I can remember, at least, that it was in an Oilers game set at 7.5. Didn't quite happen tonight. All right, keep those texts coming in. 780-218-9999. You got Gazzola, you got Belle, you got Thomson with you here on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show. 4-2, the Oilers win over their Pacific Division rivals from Anaheim. That's a big regulation victory, obviously, as the Oilers still keep that hope of possibly first place in the division. That would be, I think that would be a nice feather in their cap. I don't think it's like the be all end all. Plus, it would maybe be a tougher matchup with the Utah Mammoth sitting in that first wildcard spot. But we shall see. They have 8 games remaining on the schedule. All right, let's go to this one. Baggio actually texts back in, guys. He didn't want to come across as negative. He says, sorry, text may have come across negative, but I didn't mean to be negative. Just thoughts on what is more important. Great show, as always. Baggio, all good, buddy. You're usually very positive. So if I may have slighted your comment by putting it in a negative light, I apologize to you. JR from Calgary texting and says, who gets credit, Coffey or the addition of Murphy and Dickinson? This is coming up a lot. JR from Calgary, I'm not sighing at you. We had this on the pregame show, actually. And I think I'm going to speak for all of us, yay or nay. We lean towards the addition of Murphy and Dickinson.
I'm going to lean on the guys that are playing the game.
Yeah.
Personally. I'm sure Coffey's helping. I'm sure he's not a negative to that decor. And when you can add
get that guy in your corner, that's an ultimate hype guy. But
of course.
The actual X's and O's, and Belzy, you were talking about, what did you call it? You called it rails. That's the type of defense you called it.
Well, no, it's just different terminology for different situations. The way that they're playing right now in the defensive zone is they're squeezing. It's swarming, if you will.
Yeah.
They have 5 guys essentially below the hash marks, and there's certain like markers on the ice that you're trying to not allow players pass. So, for example, the hash marks, like if you're on the strong side, the hash mark, terminology that I've used, it called it the rail. Essentially, if a player's trying to cycle up and you're that winger, your job is to not let him pass that particular spot. So there's a couple of times where you saw like the winger would now dive down a little bit because a guy would roll up through the cycle, and his job is, okay, this is your marker. You're not going past this. And he closes that off in a hurry. So essentially you're shrinking the zone down so that you're trying to outnumber guys, whether that's 2-on-5, 3-on-5, put layers in front of it, turn over pucks as quickly as you can, and then get going the opposite way.
We're talking about X's and O's and stuff, and that's Mark Stewart that's in charge of that, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they've made no bones about it. Mark Stewart is the X's and O's guy. Right. Paul Coffey, I think it was Jake Wallman who said he's not really an X's and O's guy, and I think he was, he was saying it subtly, but Coffey is the get your ass in gear, make that damn play, or watch who's on your weak side, shoulder check. Like he's the hype man.
Yep.
He's the guy that's like, hey, you know how to play good, get your head out of your ass, and he has the clout to do that. And that is the personality trait that he brings to the table that maybe the other coaches on the bench and in the staff don't necessarily have. That's the one thing that definitely he is very strong with.
Which is valuable because, half of, you can run a system, but if you don't have your confidence in check, it's not going to mean anything. So if Paul Coffey's helping with that, awesome. I brought up Mark Stewart because if he's in charge of
you're not allowed to give him any credit. Sorry, Ben. Oilers fans say you can't give him any credit.
No, I was harsh on him because it seemed like the defensive system wasn't working. Whatever has changed, or whatever has happened, maybe it's adding Murphy and Dickinson, whatever's gone on, has been much better. They're PK today, guys. Like the Anaheim Ducks were a red-hot power play coming into today's game, and I thought they didn't even have a sniff at scoring a goal. To me, it was... They were laying out, blocking shots, aggressive. They didn't let them breathe. Sticks and lanes, the whole deal, man. I was really impressed with the Oilers PK. It made up for a power play that didn't get to convert. So, if your power play is going to go 0 for 3, you got to make sure your PK at least holds up that end of the bargain. And I thought they did today. I thought it was really good.
JD Cormack in the nasty chat says two-handed slash is the best way to keep guys from passing a certain spot. Belzy, I think you got good at that at one point.
Not me.
No, I thought you gave the lumber every now and then. Colin Buchanan texts in, says Murphy has impressed me so far. I think Nurse stepped up as a part of this, and maybe Coffey coming back as well. Yeah, and people don't want to give Mark Stewart any flowers. They like to dump on. But when you get in the crosshairs, baby, look out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm seeing a lot of people are dumping on Mark Stewart. As soon as you bring up that name, once that idea is planted in the fan base's collective minds, you're not winning them over. It's just kind of the nature of the beast around here. All right, let's go to Eden. Eden texts in, says, "Hey boys, great win today. Rare game where the power play did not contribute, but the PK, Shawn through, and 5-on-5 play won the game. Savoy continues to impress. Adding Murphy helped fix a fundamental problem with Wallman. He was playing on his offside after a long after a long layoff. No wonder him and Nurse looked like dog poo as a pair." Well, they tried, right? Like they Regula was not it, right?
Yeah.
We saw his game, fall off, and they struggled, and they brought in Stastny, and Stastny's still finding his groove at the NHL level. I think he's around 100 games. Emberson has quietly improved, which is great. And then you add in a Murphy, and you have a second pairing right side guy, and then Nurse has all of a sudden looked a lot better.
Yep.
It's pieces falling into place where they should be, and the players executing, getting the messaging from the coaches, whether it's Paul Coffey, Chris Knobloch, perhaps even Mark Stewart.
Yeah.
It's coming together. How dare I say that?
No, you can't. I mean, I remember talking about it, like 3 or 4 weeks ago, where it's like the Oilers' top 4 on their D-core was 3 of them were chaotic defensemen. One of them is the best out of all of them, and Evan Bouchard, who's helping his Norris case again today. But when you had Jake Wallman and Darnell Nurse in that top 4, that's just too many chaotic defensemen that are too unreliable in their own end, especially when they're playing with each other. Now that you had Connor Murphy to replace kind of Wallman's minutes, you drop him down to just under 14, and you give him a steady defenseman and Emberson as well. So you've stabilized in a way Nurse and Wallman, with Wallman getting less ice time and playing his proper side. It's benefited them. Like it's been a big addition adding Connor Murphy in. I didn't know it'd be this big, but it's worked out really well for them.
Derek Robertson says, "The coaches are listening to the media. Finally." LOL. Yeah. About damn time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen to us. It's Stanley from YYC. I'll take any win. I can hear Tom through your end.
I know. He gone.
He is
gone. You just let him keep talking, though. Yeah. It's quite comical.
Yeah.
Are we still good, though?
Yep, we're good.
Okay, so we're on.
Yeah, we're on. I don't know if he's real.
He has no idea, and it's quite funny.
Okay,
there he goes. How am I still attached to his internet when?
I just heard a cut. Is he still going? I think he's still talking.
Oh, he's still going. Yeah, it's actually quite comical. I'm not saying a word.
He was reading text from RBM, so I'll try to find it and take over for what he was.
You know what? Don't even worry about it. Just
this guy's still
he's still going. This is good. Yeah, no. Just don't say a word. Don't even text him. Nothing.
Andrew the accountant says, "I hope the Savoy trade and development is how we see Howard next year. 2 young guys that can help the team long term." 100%.
Yep.
Yeah, I think having those 2 guys on an ELC contract would be huge for this team. Hey,
it really would. I mean, if you have Howard being able to, replicate what Savoy did, in the sense that he's going to go down, get his defensive game in order, find a way to contribute, throughout the lineup. And then all of a sudden he has the ability, because his offense is pretty good.
Yeah.
And so if he can now make your lineup the next year, like, you just become way better of a hockey team, and you're younger, you're a little bit faster. It'd be a perfect situation and scenario if Howard can kind of follow in those same footsteps as Savoy.
Welcome back, Tom.
Hi, Tom.
You're now you're. Oh, sorry. Hold on. This is on my end. Okay, now you're.
Thanks. Yeah. it punted me out for some reason again. So I'm back.
We could hear you through Bellsy's mic, and you just kept going. And
I did.
Going.
Maybe I was just talking to myself, guys.
You might have been.
Yeah, you were.
Well, weird. What did I miss? Nothing. I'm sure.
Nothing
No,
really.
we went to Andrew the account's text about how we're filling in for look at like a similar Savoy situation possibly next year. But.
All right. Do we have any clips, by the way?
We don't. Not as of yet, but
Okay.
should have those shortly.
All right. Sounds good. You can keep those texts coming in, 780-218-9999. The Oilers win 4-2 over the Anaheim Ducks. Let's take a look at out-of-town scores from today so far. You got Tampa beating Ottawa 4-2. The Islanders 5-2 winners over the Panthers. Of course, Edmonton 4-2 over Anaheim. Boston 3-1 after 2 over Mini. And then also after 2, Dallas leads Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh 4-2. The Carolina Hurricanes up 3-1 on New Jersey, end of the second period. Also after 2 periods of play in Columbus, the Jackets lead the Sharks 2-1. Seattle, big game for them, taking on the Buffalo Sabres, who lost yesterday to Detroit. The Seattle Kraken lead that game 1-0 midway through the second. We're awaiting the Blues and the Leafs. That's coming up in about 10 minutes. And then you got Nashville welcoming in the Habs. The Colorado Avalanche play the Winnipeg Jets in Denver. Detroit welcomes Philadelphia, a rematch of the 1997 Stanley Cup Final. Thank you. Great reference. LA welcoming in Utah. That's a big game for the Mammoth and the Kings. Vancouver, Calgary, I guess that's the Gavin McKenna race. And then Vegas taking on Washington. That's going to be an important game to keep an eye on as well. Busy 15-game day in the National Hockey League. All right, let's go back into the inbox. 780-218-9999. Coach Mike texts in. Coach Mike says, this team seems to be slowly figuring it out. This streak needs to keep going. Oilers need to stretch it to 5 or 6 wins in a row. Tommy, any funny Stauffer story you could share on his 60th birthday? Yeah, I mean, I have a few. We spent a lot of time together on the road. Had a chance to see Bob. They had a nice moment for him in the arena. And happy 60th to him. And Belle's known him forever, too. I'll tell one quick one. We went to Miami or Fort Lauderdale for the 2015 draft. That was the McDavid year. And a couple of things. So I was in charge of getting Oilers TV gear. So I'd always get a couple of golf shirts for everybody, the whole crew. I think we got jackets a couple of times that I did. I got all these deals through Under Armour, through our good friend Rogan Dean from the Oil Kings. And for this draft, I went with a very Miami look. I got us an orange, like a bright orange Oilers TV shirt, golf polo, and then just a nice classic royal blue one. So all of us had 2 to wear while we were down in South Florida. And so I give Bob and Jack theirs. I give the whole crew theirs, and everybody loved them except for Bob. Bob hated the bright orange one. So we get there, and Bob's like, okay, we got to shoot the panel. Then I got to go for dinner with Chris Knobloch. And Knobloch was coaching the Erie Otters at the time. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Let's go shoot this thing. So we go down to the beach. Everybody's wearing their shirts. I'm like, okay, I'll wear my orange one. Westcott, you wear your orange one. Jack and Bob wore their blue ones. And a couple of things. So Bob goes into the ocean. He's wearing slacks. It's plus 35 in June in Fort Lauderdale and humid. And he takes off his dress shoes and socks, and he rolls up his slacks and goes into the ocean and wades in there. And our camera guy's rolling. And so he's got footage of Bob just standing in the ocean. And then he takes out his phone and he starts texting. And we're like, oh my God, what is he doing? And then he walks up to us because we're like, Bob, let's go. And he's like, I didn't bring shorts. We're like, dude, we're here for 5 days. How do you not bring shorts? He's like, well, I didn't bring sandals either. And we're like, you've known for a year that we're coming here. He's like, maybe I'll go buy some. And then we're like, yeah, you might want to, dude. And so we shoot the panel, we do our thing. And then sure enough, back at the hotel, everybody goes and changes and everybody's going to go for dinner. And we're back in the lobby and Chris Knobloch walks in and he's wearing the bright orange Oilers TV polo. And he goes, hey, Bob, thank you for this golf shirt. I forgot to bring one. And I look and I'm like, you son of a bitch, Bob. He's like, I don't like that orange one. It's not my color. Double whammy.
Unbelievable. That's stuff.
In a nutshell. And I still have that GIF. I still have that GIF. I'm going to send it to you guys. I don't know if we can share it. Benny, I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we'll pass it along. All right, Bellsy, final thoughts from you as the Oilers get the win today and then look ahead to Seattle on Tuesday.
Yeah, once again, great effort today. Get that winning streak going. You're now fully in the hunt for the division, which is what I think is what you want. But then going into Seattle, you got to bring more of the same. Like you've been way better on the defensive end. Your offense is obviously one of the best in the league. You know you're going to score probably 3 goals a game, barring something crazy happening. But you just got to keep it rolling. Keep playing the way that you are, because if you can do and replicate that same effort, well, the reality is you're probably going to beat the Seattle Kraken. And that's not disrespect to the Kraken, but the Oilers are a good team, and you see that as soon as they can clean up their defensive end, well, they become way more impactful. They become harder to beat instead of just shooting yourself in the foot every single night because, well, you give up ridiculous chances and ridiculous goals. It's not happening anymore. So it's good to see that they're doing that. But once again, you got to replicate it, got to keep rolling, and it should be a good game against the Seattle Kraken.
Bellsy, great stuff as always, my friend, and look forward to Din-Dins tonight.
I can't wait.
All right, there's Shawn Belle, our game analyst, helping us break down the 4-2 Oilers win over the Anaheim Ducks. I'm finding this GIF, and I want our viewers to see it, and then we'll describe it to the listeners, as it is pretty funny. Yet it is very apropos on a day where the Oilers pick up a 4-2 victory. All right, we can go inside the Oilers locker room now?
Yes.
All right, I think we should go to Matt Savoy, who's learned how to play in the NHL thanks to Ben Thomson. 14th goal of the season. Go ahead, Benny. Go.
All right, yeah, here's Matt Savoy from the locker room tonight.
Up on it to start that third period, you kind of went after it there to get those 2.
Yeah, for sure. I thought that was a big focus for us to kind of not sit back and let them back into it. Thought we came out in the third aggressive and were able to capitalize.
So they obviously crawled back into it. They're a good team. What was it like sort of defending that lead against that team through the final 5.5 there after your power play?
Yeah, I feel like we're pretty comfortable in the defensive zone right now. Spending time there, allowing them to stay on the outside, and I thought that's kind of how it was at the end of the game, and credit to our group for shutting them down.
So you've scored 3 games in a row. I mean, is this pinch me moment? I mean, I know you want to score, but is this just you're riding as high you've ever been in a while?
Yeah, for sure. Confidence definitely high right now. It helps seeing the puck go in and getting lots of opportunities right now with some pretty good players. Obviously, really good play by Davo to get that to Pods, and then Pods makes an unbelievable play to kind of give me an open net. So just trying to capitalize and put myself in good spots.
What do you think this group did to correct itself defensively? Because it's these 3 games here now where it's been kind of on a different level, the attention to detail and such. What do you think kind of got you guys there?
Yeah, I think we're playing an intense style right now, closing quick in the D zone, not giving them easy looks inside, and I think it's just the intensity that we're playing with right now, and it's playoff style.
All right, there's Matt Savoy picking up his 14th goal of the season. Sounds like an experienced pro in that post-game presser. We're going to go back inside the Oilers locker room. Want to hear from Jason Dickinson? What do you think?
Yeah,
Benny?
Let's do it.
All right.
Dickinson, here he is from the Oilers locker room tonight.
And sort of what it takes to defend that last 5 minutes and what you guys did well there.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely got a little tighter than I needed to. We were playing such a good game up until those 2 goals, and I wear those on my shoulder are going to bug me. But the fact that we were able to stick with it and just get back to defending hard and advancing pucks to keep them from sustained ozone, yeah, it's good.
It seems like, a few games in a row here where lines have been rolling. You guys haven't been giving up much early in games. You feel like there's a bit of a formula developing here?
Yeah, definitely. I think guys can feel that that's a recipe for success. Sticking with the process and just keep pouring it on them, it creates a feeling of rhythm for the group that you can just keep going instead of getting into a rush game where it's back and forth, turnovers at each blue line, and you're not really getting any kind of flow to the game.
You guys seem to be getting in the way of a lot defensively. Like sticks seem to be all over it. Is it just attention to detail there, you think? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's something that comes with being dialed into the game. Those are little plays that matter. It creates turnovers. It negates scoring chances. So those little details, as small as they might seem in some instances, are huge in others.
What do you think of your goaltender tonight, and maybe just how he's been able to play since you've joined the Oilers?
Yeah, he's been playing great. He's steady. He makes saves that you need him to make, and then not only that, he's also controlling pucks and making breakouts on his own. That makes it easier to move up the ice.
You guys had a lot of positive momentum going in the last couple of games. I would imagine that blowing a 3-goal lead at home would have been kind of on the wrong end of where you want it to be. So can you kind of speak to the importance of how important it was to close that out?
Yeah, well, not only that, but the divisional points that were on the line, those are more important than giving up a 3-goal lead. Forget that. Win the game however you have to. Get it done, because those 2 points makes a big difference. You want to keep pushing. You want to win the division. You want to get home ice advantage. Those are the games that matter. Those are the moments. And like I said a little earlier, we played 90% of that game very well. So 10 minutes, not even, 4 minutes where they scored a couple goals. Forget it. Move on. Get back to it.
All right, there's Jason Dickinson. I like what he said there. Like, forget the idea of blowing a 3-goal lead. Like, just win the damn hockey game. They did it in regulation. That was the most important thing. That's what the focus should be on. Like, I know you want to win nicely in the right way, but I think the end goal is the most important thing. They accomplished that.
Yep.
Was it as neat and tidy as everybody would have liked? No. But it was good enough, and they've now climbed to within 3 of the Anaheim Ducks. And I like the way he kind of laid that out there. I appreciate that. Very blunt, very honest about it. And then, if you want to get into the details of potentially blowing a 3-goal lead, screw that. Just win the damn game.
He seems like an honest guy. A lot of the guys the Oilers are adding are like good interviews. Murphy, Dickinson, Ingram, like those are good guys that speak well to the media and give their honest answers. I mean, about the Pacific Division and the 4-point swings and all that, like, yes, great job on making sure it was done in regulation, right? Now, the Oilers, I mean, it's been a rocky year for them all year. And now that they're in this position where they have 8 games left, and maybe they're starting to hit, a peak in their game here. I mean, talk about like the most perfect time, not just because the playoffs are around the corner, but it's because a lot of teams you're playing are guys that are behind you and teams that are going to chase you, and you need to distance yourself. So if you're playing your best hockey, not only just to, be a good team in the playoffs and go deep, but you're going to be playing teams against like the Kraken, the Golden Knights, Mammoth, Kings, Avs, Sharks. Like these are all teams that you may see in the first round. You may see deeper in the playoffs. You may, these teams are all be fighting for playoff spots. So, I mean, on top of, gearing up for the playoffs, but there's no better teams to do it than the teams you're going to play to end the season. So it's looking like it's good timing for the Oilers to find their game here.
All right. Conroe, Texas wanted to get this one in. He sent it in a couple of times. Conroe, Texas says, this text is not to throw shade on former players, but I think we're seeing the difference competent goaltending can make for any team, especially this one. The Oilers are playing tighter, but I think on top of that, saves that in the past have not been made are being made. This is the first time I'm confident that the Oilers have a shot this year. Ingram is not a fluke. He's the real deal. I get that from Conroe, Texas. And Conroe, Texas, I'm pretty sure was listening on the pregame show. Saw some text from him earlier. Somebody else had brought it up in the nasty chat on the pregame show, saying that Ingram's numbers and Skinner's numbers were very similar. But perception changes things. The way Ingram makes saves,
The
his
timing of it
positioning,
too.
timing, anticipation.
Yep.
I think is breathing that confidence like Conroe, Texas is describing. So I understand where Conroe, Texas is coming from. I get that text.
The highs and lows with Skinner were, I think the story of his time here.
Pendulum swings, yeah.
Like he had his moments where he was a dominant goaltender, and he has times where he was not very good. I think with Connor Ingram, what you're seeing here is just like, if you had to pick, I think one spot in hockey, like you just want consistency, is goaltending. Like if you know what your goal is going to give you every night, then like that, I think that just breeds confidence throughout the entire team. And I mean, what we're seeing here with Connor Ingram is he's just consistent. He's not gonna he won't steal you too many games. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he does eventually here, but he's not gonna really steal you a hockey game. But he shouldn't lose you it. Like he's just gonna make the saves he needs to make. Play solid, not give up, that timely goal. I look at I thought it was Dorofeev against Vegas. It was Hanifin. That Hanifin chance with 4 minutes left in the third period tie game. Like left all alone and makes a big save. Like those are the saves that you need from your goalie if you want to go deep in the playoffs. So, I mean, obviously, Connor Ingram is your best chance in net if you want to win hockey games, and he's been winning them hockey games. So good on Connor Ingram, and what a great story he is here in Edmonton.
All right, keep those texts coming in, 780-218-9999. I want to get to the turning point of the game. Of course, the turning point of the game brought to you by our good partners over at Reid Sport Medicine. Of course, Reid Sport Medicine used to be Advantage Sport Medicine, and they partnered up with a bunch of staff and professionals that came over from this Glenn Sather Institute, and now they rebranded it the Reid Sport Medicine Clinic. Let's go. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists. You've got a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach trusted by the best in the game at Reid Sport Medicine. Of course, book your assessment today at www.satherreidsportmed.ca or call 780-460-9977. And your turning point of the game, I'm going to go to a sequence from this one. It was a couple of goals in quick succession. You had Jack Roslovic at 4:59. Then a minute 11 later, you had Matt Savoy at 6:10, his 14th. So Roslovic, the little tuck, and then Savoy, the finish on the 2-on-1. That took it from 2-0 to 3-0. The third goal holds up as the game winner. Yes, the Ducks would make it 3-2, but that third goal was absolutely clutch. And that sequence there where the Oilers buried the second and third goal. Good to have that insurance. They got it in the third period. So Roslovic and Savoy's goals at 4:59 and 6:10 will be your Reid Sport Medicine turning point of the game. Visit them today at www.satherreidsportmed.ca or call 780-460-9977. Benny Thompson, you seeing any text, or do you want to go back inside the room? What do you want to do?
I know Reid Wilkins is very close getting on, so let's go and hear from Darnell Nurse, and then I believe he'll be on by the time he's done. So I guess that's probably the best way to go.
Okay.
And here we go. Here is Darnell Nurse from the locker room today.
I still feel like that's a night Darnell. Defensively, you guys are pretty solid. Good.
Yeah, it's a good night. Defensively, they're gonna have their pushes. They're gonna capitalize on opportunities. They're a good team too. So when we had to lock it down, we locked it down. Ningy made some big saves. We played good defensively. Our structure was good, and it's hockey. Sometimes they're gonna score goals too.
There's been a bit of an up and down year for the penalty kill, but tonight was good. You've had some other good games lately. Is it something significant that shifted, or what do you think?
I think we're trending the right direction. I mean, we're just playing free out there, not thinking. I think as a kill, it's easy to get tight and think and overanalyze, a foot here, a foot there. But when you're just playing and going out there and skating and, playing off instinct, I think that's when kills are the best, and that's the way we've been playing lately.
What triggered this? You guys have been looking for this game for a long time, and now it's coming together here with 9 games to go.
Yeah, we've been chipping away at it. It hasn't been perfect. We still have a lot of work to do. There's, the race is still tight. There's nothing guaranteed. So for us, it's not just about putting a few games together. We got to continue us through the final 9. But I don't know, this time of the year we like to play.
you're not giving up much early in games. You're kind of avoiding the big mistakes. Like, you seem to have dialed it in defensively here. Was there something that sort of flipped that switch for you guys recently here, Darnell?
No, I think coming out of the break, obviously we made some adjustments and wanting to take away the middle of the ice, and I think we've just gotten more comfortable playing that system. Just like we talked about in the penalty kill, when it comes down to instinct and just playing free and just playing. That's kind of where our defensive game has been getting to. So it's important that we maintain that and let the rest take care of itself.
You seem really kind of comfortable in your game here recently. How would you describe how it's going for you and what you've been working on to get it there?
Yeah, it's been good. I think playing with Murph, we've obviously got some chemistry building, and we have all the offensive firepower in the world. We have one of the best point scoring defensemen in the league. We have guys up front that can make it happen each and every night, and we need to bring that same attention to detail defensively. I think that's something that I can do and help out, and when I'm doing that and committed to that, help on that end. So that's where it's been the last I'd say week or so, or a couple weeks, and you got to continue building that.
When you're like-minded back there like that, the two of you, I mean, how much does that sort of something you can both focus on, work on together, and kind of be that shutdown pair that every really good team needs? There must be some pride in that.
Yeah, there's a lot of pride, and I think Murph is. He's been a guy that's done this in this league for a long time. Every time I play against him, and our team play against him, it was always an uncomfortable night. So when you're looking over there, and he's going to bring that, you want to show up for him in the same way. So it's important that we continue that. I think for us, we're just scratching the surface, and there's still steps that we can take, and it's about bringing it every night.
All right, there's Darnell Nurse talking about playing with Connor Murphy. He's been a great addition to the Edmonton Oilers. The two of them paired up together. Murphy picked up an assist, +1, 2 penalty minutes, with a shot and a block, 1 giveaway, and 21:06 time on ice. Darnell Nurse, no points, +1, 22:59 tonight. 2 shots, 2 blocks, 3 hits, and 1 giveaway. As long as they're working well in tandem, that's all you want to see, not allowing anything behind them. And then if they can chip in offensively every now and then, like Murphy did today, great. And then if the solid defensive pairing and reliability is the most important thing, clearly, when it comes to Darnell Nurse and then the new acquisition in Connor Murphy. Okay, we have a treat for Reid's Reid, brought to you by eWell. Do you want to get to it, Benny?
Yeah, I can show it right now. Hold on.
All right.
Give me 2 seconds. Okay.
Here
I
we
don't
go.
know if the animation is going to work.
It better work.
But I'll try to. Here we go.
All right, here we go.
Oh no!
Oh no! Look at that.
No. Can you see it?
No.
Oh no!
It looks like all scattered.
Yeah. Ah no! Hold on. Let me see if that.
It can't play an animation.
It can't play it. Oh, that's so crappy. I'll take a screenshot of it and I can tell you I'll be able to show that. But give me a second here. Well,
I don't think we've ever tried to put a GIF.
Yeah, I don't think we ever have
on the screen. So all right, we'll see if Benny can work something out there. Let's get to Reid's Reid, brought to you by eWell, your power play specialist. eWell has the gear you need for your next electrical project with 3 Edmonton area locations, and you can order online anytime at ewell.ca. eWell, your Edmonton-based partner in power and source for all things electrical. Rick, you were in the room. You worked the Hall of Fame room with Chris Knobloch in the press conference. What did you like about the Oilers game tonight?
Well, I can't wait to see whatever this image is. Can you give me a hint?
It's very sexual.
Yes.
Well, I'm not sure I need to see it then. My goodness.
Oh, come on.
It's hot, baby. It's hot.
Okay, all right. Well,
I have, I believe I got it ready to go.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. I believe this should work. It's not going to have the animation, unfortunately.
Okay. So let me set it up. I told a little story from the 2015 draft, and somebody didn't bring shorts to Florida, and somebody also didn't bring sandals or appropriate footwear and decided to go wading in the ocean with their dress pants on, and had to take a phone call and make a text. Yeah. That's the thing there. Yeah, there you go. Happy birthday, Bob. Happy 60th. Reid and I worked with him for a long time. There you go. Look
Yeah,
at those,
absolutely.
look at those
I
pale
wished, I
ankles.
texted Bob happy birthday this morning and then wished him in person today. So I'm glad the Oilers won for him. Am I frozen, guys? What's going on?
No, you're good.
Okay, it looked frozen for me for a second. So, yeah, I'm glad the Oilers got him a win for his birthday. And quite frankly, I thought one of the Oilers' best games of the season. I mean, the checking was very good. The defending was very good. The offensive play was strong. I thought all four lines did something good in the offensive zone. I mean, clearly with the depth lines, maybe you don't expect quite as much in terms of getting a goal or two. But Knobloch even said it after the game that for a lot of the game, Lazar and Henrique and Jones might have been their best line.
Yeah.
And Jones did get an assist on the McDavid goal where McDavid said, you know what, I'll shoot it. We're good. I'll take the shot here, even though you also have it on your back end. I thought the penalty kill was good. I mean, came through, what were they, 3 for 3 tonight, worked really hard. I thought the defending was good, much more responsible, getting in the way, taking away passing lanes, trying to disrupt shots. I mean, yes, Anaheim finally woke up when it was 3-0 and put some pressure on the Oilers, but I mean, they're a good team. They had a response. And then I've heard you guys talking about it, like the goaltending. I mean, that's solid NHL goaltending from Ingram. Didn't give up a weak one, made some important saves when Anaheim was pushing, and just held the fort. And you see it in his movement. He's good going side to side. He doesn't drift out of the net after making a save. He kind of is steady. There were some point shots that through screens that just hit him because he's big and he gets his legs out and takes up a lot of space. So I thought this was a really solid win. I think at this time of year, a really encouraging win, against a team that scored 10 goals total in the previous 2 games against the Oilers.
Yeah.
That they did a pretty good job. And I, when I was actually surprised, I mean, credit to Anaheim, I was kind of surprised they rallied after it was down 3-0 because I thought the Oilers had just, flat out worn them down to that point in the game. So I think this was a really encouraging victory. And you look at, again, with how the players were used, only Lazar was under 10 minutes. He was at about 9.5, 9:10.
Yep.
And I think, Draisaitl's not playing. We'll see what happens with Frederick, but maybe some options here for some really even better lines with some diversity to them when everybody is healthy. So this I think this was a great afternoon for the Oilers.
Okay, I want to get to a quick nasty chat. Like, it was a very quick couple of texts that came in, and it was from Jeff Cunningham, who says, "What happens with Jarry at the end of the season?" And arrested Yag just replied, "Jarry buyout." Not so fast with the buyout thing. Keep in mind the Oilers have Jack Campbell that they have to pay for the next few years as well. What would you? I know we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit here, Reid, but what would you say to what do you do with Tristan Jarry?
Well, yeah, I don't think you can buy him out. Just because, like you said, there's already a goaltender on the books. I haven't calculated the buyout or gone to Puckpedia, but it would be good, right?
Yeah.
No, it's not good.
I'm not thinking too much about that right now, and you might need him in the playoffs, right? I mean, he's probably going to still get 2 starts the rest of the way, maybe 3 if the last game or 2 doesn't mean anything, and then you might need him in the playoffs. So right now, just hope he plays well when he can. I wouldn't buy him out. I mean, you still need 2 goaltenders. I mean, you might even be better off if he's not doing great, that he just winds up in the minors. Who knows?
Yeah.
At the start of next season, depending on what other options they have, I'd be really reluctant to think about a buyout for him.
All right. How realistic do you think first place in the division is?
I still think it's less than 50-50, Tom, because of the games remaining.
Yeah.
So they're 3 back now. I just want to double check the standings here. They're 3 back with 8 to play, and Anaheim has 9 to play.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's still not good math. especially when you consider that they don't play the Ducks again, right? So the Oilers' maximum point total now is still 99. So if you go 8-0, you get to 99 points. That would put a lot of pressure on Anaheim. They would have to win. They'd have to go 7-2 or whatever. But I don't necessarily think the Oilers are going to go 9-0. I mean, let's say the Oilers or go 8-0. Let's say the Oilers go 6-2, which is still pretty good.
That's good.
That would get them to 95 points. Well, then the Ducks only need to play 500 hockey to get there, right?
And they're playing
they
pretty
probably
good right
will. So I still think first place. You can't rule it out. I mean, they're making it interesting, but I still see it as a long shot, just because I think they might run out of games and the Ducks have a game in hand.
You never know. You never know.
They've at least made it a conversation again, right? Which is fun. And they're looking up as opposed to looking behind them.
Yes.
I mean, the odds of the Oilers missing the playoffs now would be infinitesimal, with the lead they have on Los Angeles.
Great use of infinitesimal.
Thank you.
Elite vocabulary.
You've been sitting on that one for a while, haven't you?
I really have, yes.
You're a linguist. It is Reid's Reid with Reid Wilkins, brought to you by Ewell, your partners in power. All right, Riedrich, take a peek ahead to Seattle on Tuesday and this last stretch of games. I mean, do you have enough confidence in this team to say that they're starting to rise and peak at the right time, or do you need to see a little bit more in these last 8 games?
Well, I think I still want to see them do it for the rest of the regular season, but there are some good signs here, at least in terms of being able to be the team that comes out of the Pacific. I mean, I feel like when we talk about the Western Conference, you almost have to talk about Colorado, Dallas, and Minnesota in a separate conversation, because they're going to be difficult to beat for whoever survives the Pacific. But I think in terms of who is going to wind up in the Oilers bracket, so who are the teams that are still possible? Even if it's remotely possible. Seattle.
Yes.
Los Angeles.
Yes.
Probably wouldn't wind up with Nashville. Yeah. Utah, Vegas, Anaheim. Yeah. Those are all teams the Oilers can beat and probably would be favored against. Yeah, especially now that two things have happened. Murphy and Dickinson have come as advertised and done the job that they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And Ingram continues to put up good starts. He continues to just be solid. And I feel like even on some of the nights when he's maybe had an off night, he's still done enough to give the Oilers a chance to win the game. Right? So if you look at those matchups, I mean, Dostal played great today, though the Oilers still figured it out. And Ingram matched him in terms of making the big saves. So I think for, playing these teams that they should beat, just don't let the foot off the gas. Keep up with the good habits. Keep up with the strong defending. I mean, very responsible defending most of tonight, which was very encouraging to see. So if they can keep doing that for the rest of the year, then they're certainly going to get second, maybe have an outside shot at first. And then I think that maybe, they'll go into the playoffs, at least maybe making fans think, hey, maybe this is going to be another fun ride with a cup at the end, but maybe a couple rounds under your belt anyway.
One thing that has popped up both on the pregame and the postgame show was how much of the improved defensive play is defense, how much of it is the coaching that the team's getting. What's your take on that? A lot of people giving praise to Paul Coffey, no praise to Mark Stewart.
Well, I really think the personnel has made a big difference, guys. I think Murphy and Dickinson have made a significant impact because there's how they play. There's just the individual look at how those two guys play hockey, which is how what the Oilers needed. They needed those types of players, but then there's the ripple effect of how that goes through the lineup. So Murphy's helped Nurse, right? It means Wallman doesn't have to flip-flop from side to side. It means Stastny now is the 7th defenseman as opposed to your 6th, or maybe sometimes he'll spell off Emberson. With Dickinson, it means even without Draisaitl, you can balance out the lines a little differently because, he can, with him playing center. I mean, who knows, guys? Maybe when Leon's back, I mean, maybe Dickinson and Nugent Hopkins are on the same line. Mm-hmm. Like maybe you could go. Like maybe you could leave Podkolzin, McDavid, and Savoy together, or put Hyman back up there. You go Hyman, McDavid, Savoy, Roslovic, Podkolzin, and Draisaitl. Yeah. And then your third line could be Dickinson, Nugent Hopkins, and Kapanen. And then you'd have, maybe Frederick's back, and you have Frederick, Lazar, and Henrique on the fourth line. Szymanski, I think, has shown pretty well. Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's why I think I give. I mean, I'm sure Coffey's made an impact, and I'm sure Knobloch and Stewart and McFarland have been working to adapt throughout the entire season and try to find something that works. But I really think those two guys have done a lot to help the lineup as a whole, right? And I think that's a bit. And I also think the player commitment now is a little different. I do think they can really see the playoffs now. Yep. Okay, enough screwing around. Like, we got to start locking it down.
It's neat to see how engaged they're becoming, and you're right, it kind of heightened awareness and woken them up. The doldrums of an 82-game regular season. I think they can see light at the end of the tunnel. Well said, Reid, Rick, as always. All right, my friend, how are you going to enjoy the rest of your weekend?
TBD, brah.
Wherever the wind takes you.
Yeah, I've no extensive plans. I'm sorry, Tom. I can't be more excited. I'll probably watch some of the basketball if I can. Mm-hmm. Even though my champion from my bracket was eliminated last night, Iowa State. So that's kind of a bummer.
Well, I'm still rooting for you, buddy. I'm rooting for you to have a great weekend. That was a great edition of Reid's Read. Enjoy your Saturday and your Sunday, and I'll see you on Monday.
Okay, thanks for having me, guys.
Okay, bye, Reid. There's Reid's Read, brought to you by Ewell, your partner in power and source for all things electrical. Go visit them anytime because you can order online at ewell.ca. All right, Benny, final thoughts from you.
Honestly, like, this has been a good stretch here for the Oilers. This has been... It's been 3 solid wins here that, I'm gaining more and more confidence in this team as each day goes by. They're going to go play a Seattle team that's, fighting for their playoff lives right now. So they're going to be a desperate team. But, overall, like, the Oilers should be favorites. And the way they're playing right now, I have no problems with thinking that they're going to win this game and extend their win streak to 4. So good on them. They've fought hard. They seem like they're peaking at the right time, which is great to see. We haven't done player of the game, by the way. If you want to get that.
Yeah, you can do it.
I'll get into that. Damon Bunting, real estate player of the game. Damon Bunting has been a consistent top producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for almost 20 years. He and his team would love to help you find the right home or make the move from your current home. Community driven. He understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out on DamonBunting.com or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate.
Good read.
Thank you. I'm going to give it to a guy who I've talked about. He's reaping the benefits from the new faces he's seen in the dressing room. And I've given some love to Murphy and I've given some love to Nurse. But I haven't given this guy player of the game yet, I don't think, since this kind of new defensive game the Oilers have been playing. Jake Wallman. He plays under 14 minutes, but I have really noticed a turn in his game. And to see that he's playing solid, I'm sure it helps playing with Ty Emberson, who's also improved his game a lot over this regular season. To have that D pair as your bottom pair, man, it's pretty solid. Like, you're doing pretty well. If you have Wallman and Emberson playing, Emberson didn't even get 11 minutes tonight, but a lot of PK time and stuff was going to the top guys there. But Jake Wallman, man, I feel like he's really turned around his game along with a lot of other defensemen on this team. Give him player of the game. Didn't really have anything on the stat sheet outside of 2 shots on net, but I just really appreciate his play as of late. So he's gonna get player of the game.
So done. There you go. Jake Wallman is your Damon Bunting Real Estate player of the game. Happy 50th birthday to Damon Bunting. Got a chance to hang out with him yesterday, and we're so glad that he's a part of our station. Has been since day one. Damon Bunting now with the agency. All right, I'm going to leave the final word to Tube Socks, our very own Tube Socks. He says, full-blown delirium. I trust the Oilers to deliver the mayhem and the Edmonton Sports Talk crew to scream it into legend. No breaks, no sanity, just vibes and victory fumes. Well said, Tube Socks. Also a linguist like our very own Reid Wilkins. That's going to do it for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show. The Oilers a nice 4-2 victory over the Anaheim Ducks, climbing up to 83 points on the season. 3 back of Anaheim, 4 ahead of Vegas. Vegas plays later tonight. Edmonton with its second winning streak of the season. 3 games. Can they make it 4? We'll find out Tuesday night against the Seattle Kraken. For Reid Wilkins, for Shawn Belle, for Benny Thomson, I'm Tom Gazzola saying thank you for watching. Thank you so much for listening. We always appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Ciao for now.